Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back. We are once again in Stormworks working on our carrier, and in this one we are all about the engine room. So we're going to basically spend the entire episode detailing the engine room. We're going to come back to it a little bit later, but for the most part we're going to get all of the engine set up. So we'll detail the room itself later, add some engineering stations, some control systems, that kind of thing. But for the most part today, we're going to make the engines look really good, all of the plumbing look really good, and then kind of set up like the walkways and that kind of thing. But yeah, guys, if you like this series so far, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button and come back for more. I make 2 of these videos every single week. And for those of you who want to stay a little bit more up to date with my builds, definitely check out the Discord link down below. It's a great place to kind of make some friends, hang out, and learn some things, see some things about Stormworks. But yeah, guys, I'm gonna quit blabbing on about. We're gonna get into the build. I'll talk a lot more in the later half of this video about the engines and all of that good stuff. But for the meantime, I'm gonna kind of let us get some work done first, and then we'll come back and talk about it. All right, so I'll talk a little bit while I build here in the kind of speed build mode. But for the people who are new, this is going to be the engine for the carrier. This has changed a little bit, and it's not going to really change all that much from this point. But the people who have been following, probably the ones with a keen eye at least, will notice that the intake ducting on the top of the ceiling has been changed. So that is one of the bigger differences I made. I made that off camera, unfortunately. So I rerouted a lot of that. I made it look a lot better, and then I also worked a little bit on the exhaust plumbing. So all of the engines have this nice big ducting above them. So I'm kind of just working on the walkways right now. I wanted to have like a central channel to get down on each side of the crankcase of the engine. So that's why there's that little walkway in the middle. And I couldn't bring it down further because that is there's some fuel in there and piping, some other stuff. But that's why there's kind of like little ladders and platforms to go down. And then you can see on the other sides of the engines, there's stairs to go down, and then they kind of lead into these really long hallways. Now, one of the things that I think is kind of been one of the more challenging / annoying things about this build is because of kind of the layout of the barge in the hangar and whatnot, the engine is very far forward in this ship. So the drive shafts are very big. The engine room is very, very big. I wish the engine room honestly was a little bit smaller. The engines I think are scaled pretty correctly, but this engine room is very, very big. Most of it behind the engines isn't really all that much I'll say useful things going on. There's a drive shaft. I have some generators that we add on later back there, a couple pumps, just some technical systems and stuff, but nothing really too crazy. We don't need anywhere near that much space. So unfortunately it's not tall enough to get a floor above it or to move the engine under the barge. So this is kind of what we were working with. I didn't want to go with a flat engine. The only way for me to get away with that would probably be doing one larger flat engine, and I wanted to have 2 engines for each side of the ship. So that's kind of the thought process on that. But the engines, I ended up liking this engine room quite a bit. I think I got a lot of detail in it. We're going to add kind of like an engine cover to this, and a lot more detail to make the top of the engine look a lot better. I'm going to leave the bottom of the cranks mostly the same, but I'm going to kind of put like a engine fascia cover thing on it. We'll make it look a little bit better. But, as far as the engine room goes, I don't dislike it. I just wish that we didn't have to give so much space up in the ship to the engine room. So that's kind of my only complaint with that. Other than that, the engine's really powerful. We have tons of room for cooling. There's plenty of room to repair it, and the boat is plenty fast enough. So I figured I would slow down time here a little bit. I'm going to just go down and look at the engine room. So I know the lighting is all sorts of messed up. There's not a lot of lights, so I do apologize for that, guys. I know it's very dark. But I just kind of wanted to give a look at this, and since I hopped in the world, I might as well slow it down, and you guys can check it out too. So this is, again, kind of the layout we're going for. Off camera, I did some testing with the engines to kind of make sure that the heat wasn't unmanageable. Now, I will say, if you have the engine cranked all the way to 100% and then also are in the overdrive gear, you can overheat this if you're in a hot climate. But it takes a good 20-30 kilometers, so no really issues there. I've added and tweaked some things off camera here and there, but I think the engine is mostly good enough to kind of start just decorating for the most part, because we know we're not going to have to change it too much soon. So we are just kind of decorating the engines up a little bit. I added these they're technically gas tanks, but gas tanks as in gases, not fluids, but gas tanks. I think they kind of look like oil filters or some sort of fluid filter. So I kind of added a bunch of those. If you ever look at really, really large engines like this, they have a ton of filters on them, especially marine applications. Marine applications, if you look at the oil systems are very complex because they a lot of times need to be able to kind of change the oil in some way while the engine's running. So this is, of course, nothing you really have to worry about in Stormworks, but yeah, that's what that is. It's just kind of some decorated, supposed to be oil filters. And then, like I said, I kind of have this engine fascia going on all over the engine, kind of covers it up, makes it look a little bit nicer. You can still hover over the cylinders and see the cylinder stats for each of them and repair them and stuff. And I'll come back and I'm going to put paint blocks and some other things on these engine fascia. And when I say that, I mean kind of the dark blocks that I wrapped around the top of the engine, around the cylinder heads and stuff. But yeah, I'm going to come back. I'm going to kind of put some fake branding stickers. I'm going to put some whack industrial stickers. And I think I put ZE Tech, which is a reference to the engine ECUs I'm using, which is the ZE, I don't know, I can try to put a link in the description for you guys. Really, really good stuff. I always use that one. If you guys need a good engine ECU, definitely go check that out. I'll also have it in the description of the ship once I get it on the workshop. But yeah, anyways, I'm just kind of blabbing on. And then we're going to get back into this further aft section of the engine room. What's going to come back here is later on I'm going to add a generator on each side of the fuel tank behind the engines underneath the drive shaft. And that is going to just kind of be a backup way to make good power. And then beyond that, there's going to be some bilge pumps. There's going to be a little window that you can go inspect the prop from. A couple other little details here or there. Not too many details. It's kind of, like I said, there's not all that much going on back there. I'm just going to throw around a lot of like fake boxes and equipment and stuff, but you guys can definitely check that out later. Again, we'll be coming back to this room and giving it a third round of detailing and stuff. I'm going to add like a little control station and like a remote bridge and stuff. But anyways, we're in the world. I'll stop talking about the building. I'm just gonna, again, like I do in a lot of videos, I'm gonna show off the ship and kind of what we've done. So hi, Kitty. Yeah, you can say hi to the audience. Hello. Anyways, where was I? Yeah, we'll head down to the engine room in a sec. I'm just kind of showing some stuff off. I added this little balcony. If you haven't seen it, I think that's really cool. There's not really going to be anything out there. It's just kind of a quiet, nice space to get away from the flight deck. But yeah, I'm going to walk through. Again, I know the lighting is all jacked up. It's probably pretty dark for you guys, so I do apologize. I will put lights in the ship, I promise. Probably should do that sooner than later for you guys. But yeah, here's at least some. But yeah, we'll head down to the engine room in just a second, and we'll check on the engine temps and stuff. I just kind of like to, when the ship is moving, come in and move all the lifts around and make sure the catapult's working, the cranes, and kind of just make sure that the movement of the ship doesn't mess up any of the systems themselves, so it's a little less kind of weird and Stormworksy and buggy when you guys go to play with it. But yeah, we're finally down into the engine room, so we'll check on these, we'll check on the values and stuff. And we're just down here in, I don't know what you would call this little section, but yeah, we're looking at the crankcase. You see there's 4 different fuel feeds. They all have a manual shut-off valve, so you can go ahead and turn the engine off if it's running away from you. But for those who are unaware how Stormworks works, it's kind of weird. The engine's heads, so the cylinder heads, will store a certain amount of fuel, and they do this for all of the liquids, the exhaust, the air, the fuel. And when you shut the fuel off, the fuel won't feed into the engine anymore, so the cylinder head won't be, gaining any more fuel, but it does have an internal capacity that will go down, so the engines will continue to run. So if you shut all of the shutoffs off, the engine will run for another, with these big engines, they'll probably run for another 30 seconds or so, but with the small engines, it might be a few seconds. But that's just something to note for the people who might not know this about Stormworks. Kind of an interesting thing. This is a mechanic that can kind of be abused in a way to make underwater vehicles. In recent time they've kind of tried to correct a lot of these things. I know in the past it was a bigger issue, but this is definitely useful to know because you can kind of store that internal capacity. But I'm going to stop ranting. We're up on the deck, and the video is just about over. So I will say right now, if you guys made it to the end, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. If you are new to this channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell, come back for more. I release these videos regularly every week. So there's 2 of these carrier videos every week. There's usually another build going on, and then maybe some other series kind of scattered about. But yeah, guys, if you do like this build, don't forget to hit that like button. Thank you so much for coming. I will get this wrapped up as soon as I can, get it on the workshop so all of you can play with it. That's why I'm building. But yeah, guys, that's all we have for this one. So thank you again, and I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day.